Omni Knight is still in the pool, right? We always have this like never-ending battle between Omni Knight and Razor. You talk about giving Omni a good lane. He fell off quite a bit, I would say, close to the end of Katowice in terms of like being picked up a lot. So some teams weren't really diving into him as much. The Io was gone for Liquid. The Cobbler's gone for Liquid. The Elder Titan is gone as they abandoned it themselves. And so we go into the Chen strats, who I think we agreed in terms of our discussions this morning, probably the most OP support right now. Chen Dota.
Relatively easy to execute with now compared to Chen historically on a lot of patches. You still need that Chen player to do the timings and the rotations, but yeah, comes online super early, and we've seen games get closed out where it's 15 minutes, Chen has that army on the high ground knocking on your tier 3, and you're kind of like, well, how do we stop this right now?
He wraps all your tier 1 towers, which is the most frustrating part about playing against this hero. He can do it mid, he can do it on both side lanes, and then they can take over your whole jungle, because he's just like, he can just like scout ahead of you guys while you walk on in there to go ward. You know, you bump into someone with your creep, like, all right, back it up, guys, or you just kill him. That also works pretty well. So,
and they'll grab the Earth Spirit to pair with the Chen, another really aggressive roamer. So good for those early kills. LFY, they grab the Witch Doctor. I know you're a big fan right now.
Biggest fan. Second most broken support. I don't know. I think Rubik's also definitely up there, but Witch Doctor has always been a classic counter to the Chen.
Yeah, the cask, very good against the creeps.
It lasts longer on creeps than heroes. If you guys were wondering, why do they always do that? Well, that's your answer.
I normally call him a versatile support, but it seems like the Voodoo Restoration has been a very small aspect of this hero, and he's picked much more for that aggressive potential, the early points in Maledict to secure those kills.
If you have a Razor and a Witch Doctor, like Liquid haven't revealed who their offlaner is, but whoever it is, they're probably getting sacked pretty damn hard. You know, you would definitely want some jungling potential or something if you're going to be on the offlane for Liquid, or at least you have to play aggressive with the Chen, really is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Just try and actually contest.
Well, next round of bans underway. The Underlord will be the 4th ban here for Liquid. Not a hero we've seen a huge amount, but definitely one that can do well in the offlane in certain matchups.
Yeah, probably not an option for Liquid either, because the Underlord Razor matchup is one of the most difficult ones to try and play.
Yes, that one is not good.
So they'll just remove that right up. And the...
PL and then Dragon Knight. Interesting. Dragon Knight's in a weird place for me right now. They changed that level 10 talent, the 30 attack speed, and replaced it with Breathe Fire, reduces more damage.
Right.
And personally, I feel like that 30 attack speed was really important for DK. He suffers from attack speed issues. He's still really tanky, still a pretty good tempo controller, but that's one of those small changes that you might have skipped over, but I think it really impacts his ability to scale into that mid game the same way that he was.
Yeah, there's no doubt he'll be a little worse, but honestly, I think his versatility completely outweighs it. Doesn't matter. You can play him safe lane, you can play him mid, you can play him off lane. He pairs well with a lot of different heroes. He's difficult to shut down. So
that's all true.
The Sand King gets taken out. That's always been a classic combination with the Chen. You heard Will talk about it a lot at Katowice in terms of this idea of like when you have Chen, all you want to do is wrap towers. You want to go under that tier 1 and dive them. And so key to that is that you have to first nuke the wave. You know, you want your wave pushing it under the tower. So Sand King's very good at that. He destroys the wave. We saw VP try and replace the Chen with a Jakiro in the Grand Finals. Did not work out too well. So we'll see if Liquid can find some sort of a hero to do the same thing. I think the Puck is still in there and kind of okay to fit this whole idea of what they've got going with the Gyrocopter, some more wombo combo. But the last hero the hero for Mind Control is, I don't know, it already feels a little bit odd this game for me. I don't think you want to go back for that Enchantress that he looked very good on just because we already have like this Witch Doctor counter, but...
Yeah, I don't know what the ideal offlaner is for Liquid here. It's definitely a tough call. Omni Knight now the 3rd for LFY, so that'll likely be their offlaner. Minor changes to him in this last patch. I think Purification now the cooldown is static at 11 seconds instead of scaling down, but pretty much the same old Omni Knight that you remember from this last patch.
Yeah, he's been safeguarded by the Razor being picked up early, so it just meant that there was some pressure on Liquid to ban it. They didn't go for it. They opted to say, go ahead, take your Omni Knight. And they might regret it a little bit. Now there's even more questions in terms of this hero you have to pick for Liquid. Yeah. Because now what if Mind Control wants to dodge the Razor? Now he's the lane up against an Omni Knight. You know, that's not usually one of the easiest heroes to do that. All right? He can put pressure on a lot of different people. Yeah, you don't really want to pick the Bat Rider, which they might have been thinking. So
you're doing a really good job convincing me of heroes that don't work here, Trent, but I'm still struggling to figure out which is the hero that will work here for Mind Control. I think they're going to do something really unconventional and weird. You know, like for some reason, Pugna? Centaur is coming to mind, but you know, Pugna could actually be pretty good.
I think focusing on
not a bad suggestion.
Matu's hero would be an okay thing to do at this point. There's also the question: is this going to be Matama Man Gyrocopter, or is this going to be Miracle on the Gyro? Matama tends to make more space. He's very active early on. Miracle will dive that tier 1 and tier 2 mid over and over again. We've seen him do that too on the gyrocopter, but overall he, of course, tends to be the anchor for Liquid. That's sort of his whole role. He is that guy who, that mid game gets a little bit shaky or something. You're like, well, don't worry, guys. We got Miracle.
Yeah.
He's going to carry us through to victory.
Well, we'll see what it is here, and it's a Puck.
Okay, so I do think that was the best option left for Mind Control.
Yeah. Puck has a pretty high win rate in competitive right now. I think in the last 30 days, he's been picked like 20 times with a 70% win rate or something. Something around there. Maybe picked slightly less, but now Earthshaker for LFY.
I am a self-admitting Earthshaker hater, but I was very impressed with the hero.
Is that because he's so strong you don't like playing against him, or because he's so bad you think he's terrible?
I thought he was pretty awful before Katowice.
Okay.
I don't know. I was surprised. I mean, no one was picking him. I thought there was a good reason. I think in the core, he tends to be...
He's slow to come online.
Like, if he doesn't get that blink, it can be really bad. But then if he gets that blink, he can be very active. He can destroy people. But Yapsor especially was probably the highest performing Earthshaker we've seen in a while. He's a walking Fisher. That's all he is. It's really easy to put a lot of blame on this hero in the laning phase because it's a long cooldown. It's like 17 seconds.
Yeah.
So you have to be perfect, right? You have to cut off some hero, and you have to create a kill with every single Fisher.
Yeah, I think it works well with heroes like Razor and Witch Doctor, though. There's just a lot of natural synergy with being able to block people out, similar to the Tusk Shards. Razor's all about staying close, getting that static link, and Earthshaker can definitely help with that. Definitely an interesting pick here. Final bans on the way. Looks like Lifestealer will be the final banned out by Liquid.
That's interesting. So they're basically saying that we'll take care of the Lifestealer because then they would have had essentially 2 BK bead cores. You would have had Lifestealer with his Rage, and then you have the Razor with the Repel.
Yeah.
There's still the option of some more typical Omni Knight partners, like the OD still left in the pool. Again, someone who got a little bit of a nerf bat, but shouldn't be too big of a deal, I don't think. And then Shadow Fiend would be one of the other bigger ones. They already have decent team fight control with the Witch Doctor and the Shaker. You wouldn't mind one of those Puck-esque heroes to add a little bit more control to let Razor roam a bit freer in these engagements, but SF seems kind of okay.
And
so they'll just ban the OD.
OD ban. They don't want to pick it themselves. There's something else in mind.
I don't really like Queen here. They're going to go,
whoa,
wow.
Bristleback. Okay.
Omni Bristle. All right.
That is a pretty nasty duo. Even Witch Doctor Bristleback is pretty disgusting as well, because Bristle can just chase him down with that Maledict on. Not a pick I would have called, but they don't really have a great Silver Edge carrier for Liquid either to try to break him.
That's fair. Gyro has done it on occasion, but you're right. Overall,
not
it's
ideal
like
for
best.
Gyro.
Right.
Yeah.
So look at right now. Let's pretend you're playing this Earth Spirit or this Chen right now. What's your goal as these two heroes? You're supposed to kill these early lanes, right? You're supposed to go after these cores and kill these dudes. You've got an Omni Knight, a Razor, and a Bristleback.
Yeah.
This is LFY saying, not only are we going to free up our supports to do whatever the hell they want, how are you going to kill these cores? Come at me. That's
a really, really good question. I don't know. The Witch Doctor and Earthshaker are the obvious cannon fodder, the kind of front lines that might get picked on a little bit. But Bristle's a weird hero because he feels a little bit weak, but if he gets that early momentum, right? If he doesn't get shut down in the lane, he scales so well, and they grab the Shadow Fiend for themselves.
I kind of wanted Venge. I don't know. Maybe it would have been harder to... You'd have to go Gyro mid or something. But I was thinking that whole Puck Venge thing would have been pretty cool. The Aura with the Chen. They could have just ran them down before any of these heroes came online. Sure, you're tanky, but what are you going to do about us? But much safer pick going into the mid and the late game.
Okay. Well, what do you think here, Trent? Gut read on the drafts. Who do you like better, Liquid or LFY?
Ooh. It's pretty hard to go right in towards the Bristle just because we haven't seen the hero in a while.
Yeah.
But I like the option that came at the end with the Shadow Fiend. He's going to have that Silver Edge, natural builder into it, as you were mentioning before.
It's true.
But there's definitely... I'll favor Liquid, but I like what I'm seeing from LFY. I understand the strategy. It's a bit different. It's off meta, which is very nice to see.
Well, and that's a good way to deal with Chen, because we mentioned that Chen is a really strong support right now. Maybe not the most solutions, but if you can't get that early momentum with those tower wraparounds, Bristle's the perfect hero to try to counter those ganks and survive through it.
Yeah. Maybe I'm a bit worried about the stacks and everything in terms of... how much can they get this Bristleback farmed? That used to be one of the ways you'd try and accelerate him up a bit.
It's true.
The supports will be free for the Witch Doctor and the Earthshaker, so maybe if they focus on the stacking, that dire triangle, if Witch Doctor or if the Bristleback can abuse that, I think that would be the key for
I do worry LFY is a little bit light on crowd controls. You've got Cask, and then you've got Fissure. And as you mentioned, Fissure is sort of a one and done in a lot of those scenarios. So you're putting a lot of pressure on Yao to make every single Cask count, kind of getting lucky with the bounces. And you look at the side of Liquid, sure, maybe they don't have the most control either, but you can't underestimate how much control Chen can put out. With just a couple of Centaurs, you've got all these extra AoE stuns in your team fights that help break things up.
I think GH needs to try and have a good game. I don't know how he's going to do it because, honestly, this looks like a really rough game for an Earth Spirit. So
well,
he's kind of the person I'm going to be watching to be like...
have a good game. Yeah,
well, it's true. Look, they basically countered his hero. So
yeah. I see what you're getting
See what he can do.
All right, well, here we go. We're going to load into game number 1 for the day, Liquid versus LFY. As we head to our laning stage, it's going to be Liquid on the Radiant and LFY here on the Dire as we cycle through our players. Game 1 of 8. A lot of Dota to look forward to today, Trent.
The mind control puck. Oh, I like this. Got our little heroes in our showcase view looking good. We have a lot of have funs coming out here, so everyone's looking to just enjoy themselves here. Excellent. Remember, best of ones.
Best of ones, baby.
Win 3 and you're done. Lose 3 and you're done.
Yep. Yeah. Win 3 and you're moving on. Lose 3 and you're going home. That's the way to do it. All right. So no early aggression here. Looks like neither side is going to invade any bounty runes, Trent.
Everyone just chilling out. You know, all the supports loving this change, the bounty rune. It's great. Maybe not so much the experience thing. Not too big of a deal.
Yeah, a change we didn't mention. Now bounty runes don't give any experience across the board. So, yeah, I don't know how big of an impact that really is. Tomes were also buffed a little bit to slightly compensate.
That's the more important thing.
Yeah.
Is you got to shift queue that tome, man.
200 extra XP per tome.
You got to make sure, whichever support you are, you want to buy that thing before the other guy gets it.
Well, might have spoke a little too early, though. LFY, they actually take the bounty rune up top. And LFY will get 3 of the 4. Pretty nice as they invade down bottom. Also, mind control, able to scoop one. Yeah,
he tried a little cheeky play where he tried to contest the bottom one and then orb his way up, but was not successful there. Ohio able to outclick him.
All right. The creep spawn begins now. Just need to fix my camera. Okay. So dual lane mid, Trent. This is pretty much what we've come to expect at this point, but GH could be in a little trouble early. He's going to have to channel a TP as Super steals a lot of damage. No kill, but now this Razor's going to have some pretty easy last hits against this Shadow Fiend. That's actually a pretty nice start for Super in this mid lane.
Oh, the patented PGL triple lane cam.
Oh, here it is. Look at this. See this farm in action all over the map. Looks like Bristleback off to a pretty okay start against this Gyrocopter. Interesting lane setup coming out from Liquid here, Trent. Looks like they are doing sort of an aggro tri lane. Of course, with Chen, not a classic aggro tri, but they are putting Gyrocopter in the off lane here. Yeah, and you can see that LFY were prepared for this. They blocked off their own hard camp there just to make sure that the Chen wouldn't be able to grab any of those creeps. Yeah. So makes life a little bit easier for them on that front. And the only problem is they'll just basically keep shoving in this wave because they have a Bristleback. So the farm should be okay for the Gyrocopter up here because of that. So far, it's a little bit of a struggle. Only one last hit. I don't know. Are you really confident in the Gyro in this situation? I guess we should talk about the opportunity cost. It's mind control on the Puck versus Ohio on the Omni Knight in the bottom lane. Well, we talked about like GH needing to have a good game, and I think because you're going to have a Puck and a Gyrocopter that come online around the same time, like the second those are both level 6, that's going to really enable GH. Because now all he has to do is slow someone for like a millisecond, and that's going to be enough for Gyro to catch up with a call down, or Puck to catch up with a Dream Coil. So GH can play very aggressively, just go and initiate these battles that LFI don't really want to take. They have an Omni Knight and a Bristleback that need a little bit of time. That's very true. Yeah. Mid lane, how's this matchup going? Oh, up top, actually. It's GH taking a little bit of harassment. He's going to get stunned up, and now Afu is going to cut him off. There is a fissure here, and this should be a dead GH, and absolutely. Oh, nice. They, don't even look at him. Going to give that first blood to Yao, doing it with style there, Trent. Yeah, that was almost a 360. He just turned back the wrong way. Oh, the 360 no-scope. One of the... Yeah, if only. All right. So mid-matchup, though, looks like going pretty well for the Shadow Fiend. Actually out-CSing the Razor just a little bit. We'll see Super steal a lot of damage. Miracle with some Shadow Raises. Looks like he'll make it back under tower, and that's where things will settle down. But once again, Razor stealing a lot of damage. I like how Miracle played that, though, right? And he just gives him the 2 raises while he's approaching there, though, so that even though he just did like a full static link, it basically traded the same amount of HP. So he's just trying to not enable any sort of kill threats with the Fissure by doing that. Just wants to make sure that, yeah, if you want to Fisher me and try that play again, I'm going to kill you before you kill me. Your damage takes a lot longer to sink in. Yep. Both Afu and GH still level 1 on the Earth Shaker and the Earth Spirit, the Earth Boys. You saw on our camera there, though, those dire camp stacks, they're happening for the Bristleback, so they're on top of it for LFY. Definitely, you know, you talk about cheese. Maybe it's not the cheesiest thing you've ever seen, but I would consider Bristle Omni to certainly be a little bit out there in terms of strategies you're going to bring into a best of 1 to try and win. Yeah, I mean, you sound cynical about the Bristleback here, Trent. I'm trying to gauge what your confidence level for Monet is. Well, he's just not a very popular hero. Well, sure, but you said stacks are the key thing. They've got the stacks moving. I mean, what's the item build on Bristleback that you're looking for? Maybe we'll hold that thought as Matumba Man gets initiated on. Nice stun from GH, but Offbu on the backside with a fissure. This should secure the kill on Matumba Man, but no stick charges are there, and it goes the other way as they get a kill on Yao. Gyro very low, but does survive through it on about 30 HP as now Bristleback gets turned on. Great rotation from Kuro and use of that Centaur. It will be now 2-1 as Liquid find the advantage up top.
Yeah, early on, they should be winning these battles for sure. So, nice play by them. But
now Offbu initiated
nice.
on, knocked back by GH, slowed down by Kuro, and this should be a dead Earthshaker. No getaway. And GH gets another one up on the scoreboard. 3-1, Liquid with some early momentum. Okay, well, Omni Knight, our leading farmer right now. We haven't really talked about that bottom lane too much, but Puck and Omni, it's just farm fest down here. Ohio already level 5, having a great time in this laning stage.
Kuro just able to waltz himself out of there, no big problem. But yeah, it should be relatively chill, right? We're basically, again, just waiting on those 6s. Mind Control going to be the one to kick it off. No one else really has that moment where they just go.
Monet walks right into Matumba Man. I don't know if the follow-up's going to be there, but GH, he actually joins the party pretty quick. Matumba Man taking huge damage. And they will trade. LFY actually bring down Matumba Man first. So it does benefit Monet, but they trade core for core.
Liquid are doing a very good job of bringing all the resources they need, though, because it is still a tough kill, even at the earlier stages for a Bristleback. But you've got Penitence to help boost that up. You've got the Earth Spirit there just kind of slow up and ensure that all of the damage from Gyrocopter is being properly allocated. Yeah,
the Penitence is huge for the Chen, even just that value point. 18% extra damage, 18% slow. Pairs very nicely with that Orb of Venom on the Earth Spirit. So hard to get away from that support duo of Liquid.
Miracle overall still leading the chart, though, and Omni Knight has been having a nice time. I mean, so is
dude, he's just
Puck,
free farming right now. Puck is in the jungle, stacking, moving around. Omni is in free farm heaven.
One thing is that Mind Control should get like all of the bounties, though, so he could do like some bottle play. Yeah, he actually has the bottle, because if you ever have this 1v1 matchup where you're the more mobile hero like a Bat Rider or a Puck, then you're just able to get a bottle and you just collect all the bounties and you can grab the Afterburn too.
Monet initiated on again. It's a 3-on-1. No supports inbound. The Witch Doctor's trying to make his way back to the lane, but won't get there in time. GH now on a dominating streak as he finds another kill. And this Bristleback gets shut down once more, Trent. I'm starting to lose faith in this Bristleback. You look at his overall net worth, and he's down there with the supports. This is really not looking great for LFY out of the gate.
Oh, in terms of his stacks, that's not looking. He's got 1 stack right now, but I mean, he obviously needs like a Vanguard or like a lot of levels before he's gonna be able to go for those.
Oh, so. Smoke broken by Offbu, but this may be the death of him. He dodges the roll from GH, and I don't think it's gonna matter. The Satyr with the Hadouken, the Hellbear Smasher Thunderclap, and one final Hadouken to finish him off. Basically a solo kill from Kuro.
As well, missiled. Got the raindrop though.
Uh-oh. Looks like he'll be okay for now. The Gyro wants to dive it, but no, the call down and now the roll. They find him, and Yao gets picked off. 7-2. Liquid erupting in this top lane. Monet going to come back and try to defend the tower, but Kuro off to a great start with this Chen now. Already level 4, straight for the Medallion of Courage. Oh, mid lane, Super getting really low. Miracle clipped him with a couple of raises, but he does actually live. Looks like those infused raindrops keeping him alive.
Yeah, certainly a key versus the old SF right now.
Yep.
But he's got to be careful. I mean, those raises are back. Miracle's almost playing a bit coy here.
Yeah, Miracle really starting to pull ahead. Right now, Miracle has as many denies as the Razor has last hits. So whenever that metric is on the board,
not
pretty
a good
telling
sign,
story. Yeah. Looks like rotation attempt coming out of LFY up top. They do have a smoked up Offbu behind Yao.
If they dive this, Mind Control's going to be here so fast, they are just all going to die.
Yeah, this is a risky proposition. Especially with Matumba Man now level 6. A little low on mana, but has call down. Makes it a little bit harder to dive those towers with that huge AoE slow. Down bottom, checking in on Ohio and Mind Control. It's still the Omni show. Out-farming the Puck by a pretty good margin, up by about 50% or so. We'll see a Dream Coil come. Mind Control knows he's in some trouble, but Ohio, Repel, snaps the tether. Now he's going to try to chase him down. The TP out. It's going to be close, but it's not enough. Ohio hits him with the hammer, and Holy Righteous will find the kill.
Well, that's not supposed to happen. That was Mind Control being a bit greedy in terms of like his orb direction and everything. There was certainly a safe way out of that one, you know, but
absolutely.
He was trying to stick around and play a little bit greedier in the trees, wait until like the 8 minutes was up, because he could have gotten all 3 of those runes, and he would have been back to full HP.
So now look at this net worth breakdown, Trent. It is really the Omni Knight show. He is that one core on LFY that's farming really well. Monet has recovered some. He's at least on par with the Gyro. Is this Omni's farm going to be enough, though, to transition LFY into the mid game?
Well, it's kind of funny because usually you would want to do like a Radiance Omni in this situation, but you've got a Bristle, so you can't really do that. You have to be this more active Omni with like Yules and Force Staff and everything so that you can enable the Bristle and the Razor throughout this game. So this is going to be, like, Omni's usually a hero that with a lot of farm can actually help you into that mid game because he can just go for that Radiance or something and become this crazy core, but he doesn't really have that option for Ohio this game.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to go Yule's Scepter now that he's got his Phase Boot Soul Ring. So slightly different, but going for a movement speed build goes very nicely with the Degen Aura, of course. Up top, Liquid posturing like they want to try to dive this tower and kill the Bristle again, but just not quite finding the angle to initiate. And meanwhile, on the other side of the map, it's LFY with a smoke, Afu and Yao rotating to the mid. Looks like they want to try to set something up onto Miracle.
Yeah, but this means they're not top. And Monet is in big trouble.
Yep.
Like, fully dove.
They dove him. They hit him with the missile. They're going to have 2 ganks at once here. Looks like in the mid lane, Shadow Fiend is definitely going to be brought down, but he gets super before he falls first.
That's
huge for Miracle. He actually gets a double and then dies to Yao. Meanwhile, up top, let's see if Monet is going to be able to survive this. The call-downs fly. Rocket Barrage doing so much damage, but Tumba Man does finish off the kill, taking tower shots, but the rotation from LFY will not be enough. Ohio with big stick charges does turn things around. He does have a Guardian Angel here, finds the kill on Matumba Man. It's a little bit of a recovery for LFY, but my gosh, Trent, that mid lane, Shadow Fiend, a 1-on-3, and he still gets 2 kills before dying.
Yeah, what a hero. Yeah, they have to initiate with the Fissure. 1-spell hero, right? You know, he just can't really do that much, honestly, on the Shaker. But at least now he has the stun rocking too, so he's got Fissure into stun with the Totem.
Yeah. I also feel like the way this top lane is going is really favoring Liquid. If you're trading Gyro for Bristle consistently in these team fights, Gyro recovers a hell of a lot better than Bristleback does in the mid game. Meanwhile, mid, speaking of Bristleback, is going to be a Dream Coil, a Puck with an Arcane Rune, and way too much damage for this Bristleback to handle. Now Yao rotating in, trying to save his teammate, but it'll just be another death, another double kill for Miracle, and this Shadow Fiend leading farmer on Liquid by far.
I like how Bristleback's not even hero this game, and he still has the Silver Edge queued up anyway. It's just like, yeah, I'm just going to make sure nothing can happen as they then hop onto Afu.
Yeah. That's
Easy
just
peasy.
a dead Earthshaker. And this is sort of what we were worried about with these dire supports. They're going to start to become cannon fodder, and nothing is going to be slowing Liquid down. They may even try to dive super here. The homing missile does get queued up pretty far back, and now the TP coming in from Ohio.
Oh, you're crazy.
Wow.
You're crazy.
Crazy is the right word.
That was the I need to be repelled before I TP play.
Yeah, not going to work out well. Afu with a stun on Matumba Man. He's going to get low, but now the Dream Coil comes out again. Remember that Arcane Rune. Afu getting low. He falls. Now Yao getting obliterated. Triple kill for Miracle, and this Razor in big, big trouble. Uphill miss, but maybe another one as GH does bring him down. LFY just throwing bodies at this mid lane, Trent. And what little bit of farm that Omni Knight had now starting to go by the wayside a bit as Shadow Fiend takes over as the leader. And this game starting to look a little bit dismal for LGD Forever Young.
Yeah, you just get levels on Gyro and Puck, and you look at their skills. They mesh together so nicely. Like, it's easy to set up with a coil, and they can't get away. If you are coiled, you are going to get hit by Rocket Barrage, you know, unless you get saved by Ohio or something like that with a repel.
And yet, Trent,
it's
up top,
coming down.
Kuro was just pushing that whole time. There was only 4 heroes in the mid. He just took a free tier 1 tower up top, so now this dire jungle gets opened up. We'll see more initiation. Afu again caught by Matumba Man. Gyro just charging at him. Rocket Barrage after Rocket Barrage finds another easy kill. 19-6 as now Mind Control gets pushed back. He will probably fall here. Razor steals a lot of damage.
That gave Monet, or Yao 6. There's actually a counterplay here possible.
Yep, that is a pretty big kill. They'll need a few more of those, but now they'll try to chase down Miracle. Monet in the front lines does have that point in the viscous nasal goo, but Miracle's still able to walk away for now.
It's not just nasal goo, it's viscous nasal goo.
It's viscous, baby.
That's beautiful.
Okay, so yeah, Bristle desperately needs this Vanguard. He has it queued up alongside the Power Treads. A couple hundred gold off that Vitality Booster. That will be a big item for him. Very late timing, though. You know, you look at that like 7 or 8 minutes. If your Bristleback is balling for a Vanguard, that 12, 13, maybe 14 minutes, far from ideal.
Yeah, and then it's just like, okay, so where's our farm allocation? What have we done? We've given it all to Ohio. What does he do? TP's in the middle of 4 heroes and dies.
Well, down bottom, he's going to TP in now. Miracle gets blocked out by the Fissure, and this should be a kill on the Shadow Fiend. He'll try to channel the Requiem. He is going to get off both of them, but it won't be a kill, and that Mega Streak will be ended. It's actually Yao that gets that bonus gold.
Why? That's not necessarily ideal. But you know what? He did most of the damage, so he kind of earned it. Right? With that Death Ward, he ended up with 741 pumped into that SF. But this is where you need to take that net worth from the Omni Knight, and we got to transfer it. We got to call the bank, Set up a wire, and we got to put some of this net worth onto Razor.
Absolutely. And now in the mid lane, onto the Razor. Infused Raindrops, not going to save you from this one as Kuro throws a Hadouken and finds the kill.
He
Killing
hasn't
spree
cashed
for
the
him.
check yet. It's still in the mail.
No.
Slow transfer, I tell you.
It's been a great start for this Chen. Skipping Test of Faith altogether, and now 3 points in the Penitence. If this Chen shows up, it's a lot of slow. Very hard to get away from. And also a Blink Dagger now out on Puck, of course, a game changer for this hero, so mind control with a lot more initiation prowess.
This looks like the Roche timing, possibly. If Liquid, they've been a team who are really into this whole idea of really early Roshing, just so that the second Roche comes sooner.
Yeah.
And oh, hey, there's a DD that spawns. Well, I guess now we're definitely doing Roche.
Well, boys, Roche is on the menu, and they're going to bring him down pretty darn quick. Dire
Solar Crest
in the
on
vicinity. LFY are actually smoked up, and they're going to start moving towards the pit. They could get there in time to contest this, but still a risky proposition. GH on the high ground breaks the smoke. Beautiful stun on 3. He's going to get blocked out, may die here, but now the counter initiation mind control jumps right into the fray. Now the disengage, and LFY.
That one hurt, actually, from Super.
Not quite sure what to do here. It's a great ult from GH with the Magnetize.
Dude, they got to go in with Omni. They don't have a choice. You can't give this up.
I think you're
right. Be brave, Monet. Be brave.
You're pretty committed. He's got the repel. He is just going to charge right in there. The clap from Roche is going to get killed by the Dire. Monet's the one that picks up the Aegis. It could be a disaster for Liquid as this cask is bouncing all around. They will lose Yao, but they take out Miracle with him. I think LFY may look to retreat and reset, but they find the opening on Matumba Man. All he has is a Mask of Madness, and Monet will try to chase him down. Nice stun from GH, and the send home from Kuro will keep his friend alive. Looking for more kills, perhaps.
Yules, dude. He couldn't get in range to dispel it.
Kuro now on the run. Monet chasing him down. Afu going to cut him off, and they are going to lose the Chen. This is a big turn for LFY, and finally they find some momentum. Still with the Aegis in tow on that Bristleback.
Man,
that was insane.
Whew. Very nicely done. LFY, they needed that so bad. I'm so glad they didn't just run, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to lose. If you lose that fight or you let them get Roche, this game's probably over. So force your way in there, make the play happen, get the Roche gold, get the Aegis, and even more importantly, Monet surviving, and now he takes the Radiant Ancient stack.
It was really well done by Monet. I think we would have been impressed if he had either finished off Roche or snatched the Aegis.
Oh, MC in the backline. What are you doing?
But doing both is pretty impressive. Ohio, yeah, going to be able to put a lot of hurt onto this Puck. He does bring down the Dream Coil, has Orb in 2. Sort of an unnecessary death there from Mind Control. Not sure what the game plan was.
I mean, I would feel pretty safe as Puck in this game, too.
Up top, Yao, initiated on by GH. He drops the Magnetize, and it's looking like it could be a solo kill for GH. Going to be a little close, but he rolls forward. Yao trying to heal through it. Now the Omni Knights here. They're going to turn the other way with the Death Ward. Liquid losing a couple of deaths.
Yao's level 9. Like, this guy's not supposed to have Voodoo yet, right? You know? So very nice skill from him there.
Yeah.
Just having that nice and early. And that's going to put him almost into the Spirit Vessel. He's actually insanely close.
Wow. Crazy how the tides have turned for this Witch Doctor. He had kind of a slow start, and he ended that spree on the Shadow Fiend. Now picking up that kill there. He is absolutely in great shape.
I'm surprised by the Spirit Vessel a little bit. I don't know. I feel like Glimmer would be kind of ownage this game. It's because like there's at literally all magic damage.
I mean, isn't the Spirit Vessel versus Chen kind of the idea? So that if you isolate somebody, it's like, mitigates the hand of God.
Isn't it kind of meh? It's like such a minor part of the hero.
I feel you. And there's also that aggressive potential too, right? When Witch Doctor is doing this well, it allows you to find some of those kills maybe a bit easier. I'm spitballing here. I don't know. I agree. The Glimmer Cape is always tempting on Witch Doctor. It's such a core item.
Well, they're online. We have transferred a little bit of that net worth from Ohio onto the Bristleback.
And Monet in the front lines. He'll be the one that gets initiated on first. Silenced indeed, but now the counter fissure. And I think Monet just wants to go in. Remember, he still has the Aegis here, so can play fairly aggressively. Dream Coil on 2. Monet and Ohio will just wait it out. Mind Control jumps in. Silence onto Ohio, but he will be able to get off the repel. Homing missile, not going to do much.
Yeah, things a bit discombobulated there from Liquid. You're looking for that coil and then into a silence while Miracle waltzes in and does his ulti. That's pretty much the only way they're going to be able to bring him down that situation.
Yeah.
And now all of that's on CD, and Miracle also very low on mana here. They don't have a whole lot to poke and prod at LFY, especially with this Aegis.
It's tough. You see Liquid ready to defend this tower, but sort of just standing around, almost hoping that LFY just goes in a little bit too deep. Still plenty of time on that Aegis as now the Shadow Blade gets picked up on Shadow Fiend.
They know Yao's chilling with a smoke too, because he walked up into that vision and he switched the smoke into his inventory, so they might be expecting a smoke mid here from LFY if they back away from this tower. But they have vision inside the Radiant jungle, and they see Miracle jungling away. They saw Maut heading bottom, so they know this tower is free.
Yeah. That's great ward placement there in the jungle right above that shrine. Perfect for this kind of a push. And that will be a tier 1 tower. Monet getting the last hit in the bonus gold. It is a Radiance queued up on the Bristleback here, Trent. Very, very far away. But
did he buy his hood first, though? Right,
he does not.
Right,
okay, it's coming on the courier, so he should have something else. So hood into Radiance.
Yeah, this is pretty standard. You get your Vanguard, you get your hood. Those are, you just need to survive. That's the most important thing is Bristleback at first. And
I'm impressed at how well Monet is farmed. I mentioned earlier it's not a hero that recovers that well, but he's only 100 net worth behind the Gyrocopters. We see LFY smoke. They might find a Kuroki. No, not quite. He makes it back up to the high ground.
Getting this army will be
smoked.
great, though, honestly.
Now they're going to block off the Chen. He does have some help nearby, but Kuro taking huge damage. And that'll be the end of him. Looks like they'll get to clear out his army also.
They've chased GH too, and he's in trouble.
Oh, Ohio blocks him out. They stop the roll, and there is nowhere for that Earth Spirit to go. It's going to be Ohio that gets credit with one last purification. They see Miracle on the side. He does not have a Shadow Blade. Afu with the Blink Dagger, the Echo. They want this. Puck is here with a Dream Coil on the entire team. The tether gets broken. Can they still secure this kill, though? They don't have the detection. Yao drops the Death Ward, but the Shadow Blade comes off cooldown, and it is enough to keep him alive.
That is rough. Oof.
They might, yeah. I don't know if they saw the Shadow Blade before they did that smoke because he was in the jungle farming. So
it's like every pro game, the Invoker gets ganked and he gets away once with Quaswex, right? Yep. And he just goes in the Ghost Walk, and you're like, God damn it.
Look at this deep ward, though. The Dire get it down up on the high ground, so great vision of Liquid coming in if they want to mount a defense here. They will smoke up. The smoke gets broken. GH comes in with a huge stun, huge magnetize. The follow-up damage will be there to get a kill on Yao. Will Liquid have the damage to continue to pursue? It's Afu on the back line trying to get out. Super stealing a lot of damage from Matumba, man. Now the GA from Ohio. They actually kill Matumba. It's a 1-for-1. Another beautiful stun from GH. Sets it up for Miracle. They kill Super, but now Miracle's low and he pops. Monet still healthy, stacking up all of these Bristlebacks charges, and now Kuro on the run, probably not going to be able to make it out. It's a pretty even fight, a 3-for-3 when it's all said and done. Mind Control is still alive, but he's got the Blink Dagger, and he's got a Dream Coil coming back up. It's not going to be enough. He'll just live.
Yeah, Monet and Ohio just need to survive these engagements, so extremely important for LFY. I mean, that was the almost best possible initiation for Liquid, right? You have the Blink Dagger on GH. They're all under that ward that's placed up on the high ground. It's, yeah, you see getting picked out by Yao. He's like, yeah, I'm here for that, but everyone's leaving, so we can't go deward it now. They know that's there.
Trent, this game has been pretty topsy-turvy. It was as high as a 6,000 net worth lead from Liquid around 12 minutes, and now at 22 minutes, it's LFY with a small net worth lead.
That's almost like the unlosable, you know, where you're just like, this game is over.
Almost.
You know? It's.
I mean, if they killed that Bristle another time or two, I probably would have agreed with that assessment in the moment. But now Bristle is number 2 on total net worth. Ohio's still number 1. He's just going to move right into a Shiva's Guard on the Omni Knight. Up top, like, here's the replay from that last fight. Beautiful from GH. Great initiation, and then he had another 3-hero stun, I think, in the middle of the fight. You can't ask for more from your Earth Spirit.
No.
But as usual, the GA just completely resets things and gives LFY that extra bit of time to sort of turn the fight around.
Yeah, Mind Control also to the north was just zoning out Afu completely. Ended up getting the kill too, but just made sure Shaker wasn't going to be a factor. Which they kind of need for that counter initiation play.
Also, a pipe now up on Ohio. So he went Yule's pipe now into the Shivas. Very, very farmed.
Shiva's very good this game versus the old SF.
Yeah, the pipe's also really good this game. A lot of magic damage from Liquid. Kuro working on a mechanism into Guardian Greaves on the Chen. He went for that Solar Crest first, so now grabbing some more classic support items. His momentum really slowed down this game. I think Kuro had an awesome start, but these last couple teams fights, it's felt like the Chen hasn't really been able to do that much.
Yeah, one thing that's so nice about the Bristleback in this game is that whenever I see a good Bristle game, you can almost always look at the enemy lineup and just say, like, how many of these heroes are balanced around AoE damage, right? Because that's, you know, that's kind of the factor that goes into it. And Bristle tends to be very good against heroes that the majority of their damage has to be lowered a little bit because it's so AoE based, and that is certainly what we have on Liquid, right?
Yeah.
SF to some extent, but mostly the Puck and the Gyrocopter and the Earth Spirit too. So he can kind of abuse those lower damage values onto a solo target, and that's why they need this Silver Edge. They might even, I don't know, you want to go Dagon, but then it's also hard to properly get it onto the Bristleback.
Yeah. Well, Silver Edge is on the way. Shadow Fiend just 700 or 800 gold off, and that Radiance also very close for Bristleback. His farm has increased so much, and now that's a huge team fight item.
I'd be interested to see how much it changes. I mean, he already looks like he's surviving a lot. He's obviously doing quite a bit of damage. I think the chase, I would almost think the Shivas is actually more important because Ohio and Monet are just playing clumped the whole time in every engagement.
Yeah,
so it's going to be kind of cool. They have this like fire and ice dynamic going now where you're going to be, sure, the burn's there from Monet, but in order to make sure that it all gets factored onto Liquid, we kind of need that control element from Ohio with his Degen Aura and the Shivas.
Yeah. Mid lane, LFY, posturing like they want to make a move, but not going to find an easy target. What do you think about the Matumba Man build? What's ideal for Gyro this game? He did have an SNY queued up, and now he's just going to go right into BKB. Of course, Gyro is a natural BKB carrier, but doesn't really save you against the Bristleback all that much.
Yeah, it is not a happy feeling BKB game right now.
Yeah.
It basically just tries to protect you against the Shaker in the middle of an engagement. So like if you're initiating with the BKB, it feels really strong. And there's like nothing they can do against it. It's going to help prevent the mischance from the Radiance, which is going to be important. Then when the Shiva's guard comes out too, it's going to be nice just so you don't get like slowed down and everything from the active. But yeah, I don't know, it doesn't feel good. But there's no item that like feels amazing on this Gyrocopter right now. So he's just kind of stuck going for
I guess the only other case is maybe finishing the SNY or something just to get some extra stats before the BKB. But you're right, there really isn't a perfect item choice this game. However, the Silver Edge now gets completed, so Liquid will maybe have some more options in the next team fight whenever it breaks out. Puck also with a Eul's Scepter has a lot more survivability now. Bottom tier 2 tower got taken out, so only 1 outer tower remains for Liquid, and still 2 standing for LFY.
Yeah, and we're just all thinking about Roche. So there should be at least a slight advantage, you would think, for Liquid in terms of scouting it out. They can just send some Chen creeps in there periodically. They don't really have any of those options in LFY, no Helm builders or anything. But in terms of actually battling in the pit.
Omni Knight initiated on up top. Silence is coming out. They're keeping him locked down okay, but Ohio still at half HP, drops the repel. He's just going to walk out of the coil, and he's putting a lot of pressure on the GH. His friends have arrived, and they just completely turn it the other way. Optimistic gank attempt from Liquid there. They weren't even really close to killing the Omni Knight with those 2 heroes.
Yeah, it feels like they're just trying to make space. I think they want Miracle to have BKB before they fight the Roche Pit. So Mind Control's just doing these crazier, like, cutting waves and everything. He just gets another one up top. So this will be their whole plan, is just delay, draw LFY away from the Roche Pit so we know when they're doing it or they're not doing it, and make sure that Miracle's just going to be a complete beast when we have to fight them again.
All right. Yeah, BKB pretty close for him. Eul's Scepter comes out from Ohio, but no detection. Silver Edge just walk away.
He's got his Shivas now, though.
Actually, it was a Sentry Ward down there, but... Yeah, Shiva's 1 more creep, and he's going to have it. But
yeah,
with that said, LFY ping out Roche, and they're starting to move over in that area. They've got some great wards down around the Roche Pit. One in this atypical spot in that top lane. One right here blocking out the Ancients, which is just now going to be countered by Kuro. And they've even got this other ward here in the mid lane, soon to expire, but giving some good intel about those rotations across coming towards the Roche Pit. You can definitely tell where LFY are posturing. Yeah, I see that triangle.
You know, they can see a lot as well. So both teams have a very good idea of what's happening.
Yeah, not a big surprise. At this stage of the game, we'll start to see some more sentries come out, I think, no doubt. You can see LFY, they've got a couple down looking for those pesky wards.
It's just all about space.
Yeah, slow and steady.
Waiting right now.
It was a pretty chaotic early game, and now that things have slowed down a little bit, very small advantage for Liquid, but very farm-centric. Omni Knight now focused on the Aghanim Scepter for his next item.
Ooh, that's a smart idea.
Yeah, the global GA.
Yeah, because now if he's ever just far apart from Monet and all, because like honestly the GA range is pretty small. Like if you just highlight over it, it's rough. You know, you got to get him inside of that in every single engagement. So you just make sure that you're not gonna be forced away. You could just get kicked away in the middle of a fight, and then suddenly Monet's just dead. He gets Silver Edge and he just dies. But if he gets Silver Edge and then after that you apply the GA, you can just use that for the whole Silver Edge duration.
It always feels like a luxury item to me on Omni Knight, but this is a game where it feels a little more core than luxury for the logic that you just pointed out. We will see a smoke now from LFY. Shadow Fiend is invisible and looking to break the smoke, and it looks like Monet will be the bait to be in the front lines here with his team smoked up behind him. Will Liquid go for it, though? Stun on a GH. They find the Earth Spirit in the tree line, and this is going to be the end of him. It looks like Cask bouncing around. He'll be the first death of the fight. But on the other side, Monet gets completely destroyed. BKB popped by Miracle. It's a great Dream Coil. Yao's going to be locked in place. He'll go down, and nice silence onto the Omni Knight. No GA going to come out. It doesn't look like they've got the magic damage. Afu with a big Echo Slam, but there's just no follow-up. It makes absolutely no difference. And Miracle gets a triple kill as now they chase down the Razor. It's going to be a 4-0 and soon to be a 5. It looks like Monet gets brought down again.
That was his buyback.
Oh, it's a dieback. Oh, no. Oh, my. It's an Ultra for Miracle. There was also a buyback on the Earth Spirit.
Yeah, we're not going Roche. We're getting 2 sets of racks.
They're going high ground.
This might just be over.
They know Bristleback doesn't have a buyback, so he's out of the game for 70 seconds. But Razor and Omni, they don't have buybacks either because they don't have enough gold. So Liquid's going to push this as far as they can when they don't see the buybacks. I think you're absolutely right, Trent. This is 2 lanes of Barracks.
Yeah. Oh, man. What a great call by Liquid. It's hard to make this call, too, right? Because you're like a little bit worried. You're like, oh, maybe we should just get that nice, safe Roche. But they have figured out exactly what's going on here.
What an insane team fight, though. It seemed like a great start for LFY. You find the Earth Spirit, who has been the key initiator for Liquid in all of these team fights. You kill him first, but the trade is not there. The Bristleback for the Earth Spirit is definitely not what LFY was looking for. I think just underestimating the power of the Shadow Fiend in that particular situation. But regardless, it is 2 lanes of Barracks, and what was an even game just moments ago has now swung way in favor of Liquid. 15,000 net worth will be their lead.
Now, again, our game was coming down to a Roche fight. LFY won the first one, but it did not end up being the one that would decide this game.
Yeah,
in all likelihood. But of course, it's not over. They did not manage to secure the throne. They didn't get like mega creeps or anything like that. You can, of course, still battle back from this. They definitely take buildings quicker on the side of Liquid, though. So even if you get some monumental fight from LFY, it's going to be hard to still match what they've done.
Well, I think what's also scary now is that the Bristleback buyback is going to be on cooldown for a while. So now Liquid can feel pretty safe going into Roche, and if they trade evenly, they know there's an advantage there. And if they do win another team fight in the next 5 minutes or so, they can just run up to the high ground, and not a lot of options for LFY to defend. So overall, putting Liquid in a great position right now.
It's going to take LFY so long to do this, too. I mean, like, this is not what Bristol's good at.
Yeah, I mean, he does minus armor Roche, so that helps. This is so risky, and I think appropriately risky for LFY. When you're this far behind, you have to do something crazy to try to get back in it. But is this going to be it, Trent? The Orb scouts it out. Liquid see that Roche is about half HP. Miracle is going to TP to the Shrine, and I think they're going to be able to get here in time to contest this. It's going to be close, but they will have an opening. Call down to start things off. Puck with an Orb across, and they are just going to try to push LFY out. Still 4 stacks
Miracle's
of the sticky.
Just lurking here with this BKB ready to go.
This is so tense here, Trent Pax. And now the initiation, GH jumps in. Dream Coil on 3. It's not looking good for LFY. They lose the Witch Doctor. They lose the Razor immediately. Mind Control finishes off Roche, grabs the Aegis, and LFY are just getting cleaned up. They've already lost 3, and that's it. They just call GG right there. They know they don't have the buybacks. That 1 lane of Barracks is going to get brought down. And just like that, Liquid intercept Roche and find themselves a win in game number 1.
Well, the Bristleback was certainly a bit cheeky, a little cheesy, some might say.
Yeah.
But not my favorite kind of cheese. He ain't Gouda.
There was a window there where I had a little bit of faith. Yep. Bristleback got shut down early. He came back in the mid-game. They did a lot of damage. And then as soon as that Silver Edge BKB came out, every team fight, he just felt like a piñata.
Yeah, there were conditions.